Gotta respect the Forerunner builders. They made things to last.
And shoved it in every corner of everything. Can't land on a planet without tripping over something they left behind.
The rate of discoveries has been stepping up lately. Have you noticed that? Ever since Requiem. Look, listen to this. I never believed Amdama had as much control over these Prometheans as he claimed. He claws at whatever advantage presents itself. We will see if this mission bears any fruit or whether it becomes yet another in his long list of failures.
Osiris, proceed toward Halsey's position.
We know so little about Forerunner civilization. Halsey's obsession with them almost makes sense to me. We've seen Prometheans lots of places, but there's always been a Forerunner element.
Yeah, so?
Meridian was a fully settled colony. No record of Forerunner discoveries here.
So why are there Prometheans here now?
That's what I'm asking. Haven't you been listening?
You know, you get along with Veronica real nice, Vale.
So when this planet is chipped out of the glass, who has land rights?
No way to be sure of old property lines. Land will be sold to cover the cost of the cleanup.
Doesn't seem fair to the people who lost their homes.
You made it through boot camp and still use the word fair?
Seen others, of course. But a glassed world really only looks like one thing to these eyes. Manab. Home. The whole world got glassed. Some say it was lucky to survive, but those folks didn't scratch out a living as the sky turned black and the temperatures dropped. Buck, heard you're in a relationship with someone else in the service.
That's true.
How do you do it? Can't possibly see much of each other, being on mission all the time.
It's hard, but we make it work. Why do you ask, Tanaka? You got your eye on someone?
No. Just was wondering, that's all.
Why did they have a Scorpion? This is UNSC gear.
Corporate security. Private security for a frontier colony isn't unusual. Surprising to see something this heavy, though.
I've never seen a glassed planet in person before. It's kind of pretty.
Vale, you got a weird idea of pretty.
Homeworld got glassed. Was on the other side of a knob when the Coveys hit the capital city. Survived the blast easy. But when the ground melts, debris gets thrown into the atmosphere, blocks out the sun. Instant ice age for the whole world. Surviving that's a bit less easy.
Never could wrap my head around those independent colony types.
What's to understand? People like their freedom.
UNSC ain't exactly a totalitarian state.
It's still a state. A state who says where a body can settle and where it can't. That kind of oversight ain't needed on the frontier.
Gotta wonder if it's even possible to resettle this mess.
There's sense to the plan. Chip off the glass, hope the soil below is still viable.
Quarter-mile deep sea of slag, across most of the globe?
That's where the hope figures in.
A lot of money going into this. Where's the profit?
Sure your mom was signal intelligence? You sound like a banker's daughter.
Liang Dortmund pays a couple generations of chumps to break off the glass, then has land rights to an entire planet. It's the long con, but it'll pay. Don't make sense, Sloane's people going into the mountain. They were supposed to be chipping off the glass, not digging in the dirt.
Sounds like an object lesson in properly following orders. Never been to a place with an AI for a governor. Not sure how I feel about it.
It looked like he was holding things together.
Well, sure, it seems like it would work out most of the time. That is, till a call had to be made that I don't think I'd want a machine making.
What do people usually eat way out here?
Similar to military rations. Food that don't go bad too quick.
Taste any better?
Nope.
You know, after this many years of human progress, you'd think we'd have figured out the recipe for the perfect MRE.
Where do you figure that Guardian's going?
What makes you think it's going anywhere?
Sure ain't sitting still where it was found.
Wherever it's going, the Master Chief is going with it. And I intend on reaching him before that happens.
This might be hard to believe, seeing as how I'm a model of stoicism and courage today, but when I was a kid, I was afraid of heights. So, there's that. The elites used to call Chief the Demon, but Arbiter worked with him. Help Chief win the war even.
War has a habit of making strange allies.
So Vale, you think Arbiter can win his war?
Easily. Maintaining peace afterwards will be the hard part. Arbiter built the swords of Sanghelios from a coalition of bickering clans. That'll be a heck of a magic trick if he can keep them from turning on one another once they don't have the Covenant to fight.
Someone take...
If the Arbiter dies, we lose our best shot at the Guardian, and humanity's best ally among the elites.
We can always shoot our way to Scenario.
Without backup from the swords of Sanghelios, that would be a very short shootout.
The Master Chief worked with Cortana for a while, right?
Yes, Chief considered her a close friend.
It's unusual for anyone to anthropomorphize an AI so deeply as to consider them a friend.
Unusual, but not unheard of.
Locke, I was reading the Blue Team file you assembled. I knew the rumors about the original Spartans, the kidnappings, the conscription. I never wanted to believe it.
Lesson I learned about history a long time ago. It's full of things you don't want to believe.
I'm getting fuller of them all the time.
I thought Sanghelios would be different.
You'd be surprised how much we have in common with the Sangheli. For instance, they place huge importance on family and honor. What could be more human than that?
After all Halsey did to the Master Chief and Blue Team, and when they were kids no less, after all that, she still acts like she cares about them?
Psycheval says Halsey thinks of the Chief as her son. She has a motherly attitude towards all of her Spartans.
I'm glad I haven't read that psych report. Not sure I'd ever feel clean again.
Your troops are...
I meant to ask, Buck, did you get any word to Veronica before we left?
Yeah, but she's working, so I don't expect she'll hear my call for a few weeks.
How does that work? Veronica and Oni, you're both always at opposite ends of the galaxy.
Works fine. Times we're in the same place make up for the times we're not.
This architecture, this history, it's irreplaceable. And the Covenant are willing to sacrifice it to their ambitions.
Speaking of ambition, that constructor isn't gonna come to us. We ought to get moving. Vale, what is this place?
It's the Vidam clan's burial grounds. Pre-Covenant. Hasn't been used for centuries. All that running in basic training is finally paying off.
Had a drill sergeant in basic who made the whole squad jog backwards if anybody questioned orders.
Why? What did that do?
Taught you not to question orders.
Vale, what are these murals?
Those murals depict a pre-Covenant Sangheli burial ceremony. You guys, we're the first humans to see these. This one says, Mikano Mitomo. Here they serve at the feet of the gods. This one says, Chinoi Kyoise Kyonchu. Life, death, forever vigilant. Interesting. There's a question here, too. Who is entitled to this honor?
No one is entitled to honor. You earn it.
You're starting to understand Sangheli culture.
No, I just don't believe anyone is entitled to anything.
Ah, you've noticed my humble collection. Just a few specimens the Guardians have brought to Genesis.
A knight. Kinda making me feel sad for him.
Their little arms always creep me out.
Hunters.
Their proper name is Megalocolo. They're a hive mind of worms.
They're disgusting.
Almost didn't see you there.
Hang on. Are you... No, not a sort of Sanghelios. Better off in there, pal.
I'm afraid this soldier is not very happy to be locked down in the display case, but I cannot have them popping about. Terribly distracting.
Crawlers. This is gonna sound weird, but they look kind of happy in there.
I had to keep them as a group. If I kept one by itself, it would just keep whining all the time.
Why is she taking Blue Team with her? Her whole speech was about moving beyond humanity.
Sentimentality? A love for the Chief?
It's because she knows he can stop her. We're variables in her eyes, but him, she knows he can do it.
I'll be honest. I'm not sure if we can do that. Cortana's 5 steps ahead, and it feels like we're just here and there's a race.
We can fight or lay down and die.
I haven't known Buck too long, but laying down and dying don't seem like his style.
Indeed, it is not.
There are only a few Guardians remaining on Genesis. Cortana is clearly waiting until they are all deployed before leaving herself.
Leaving to where? I mean, where would she want to go?